Welcome to Pod and Long. I'm your host, Ryan. It's great to have you with us. I am here with one of my co-hosts. It's the Word of Drew.
It's been a busy week, and there were a lot of things going on that maybe nobody noticed. I am officially fascinated by every now moving forward twist of the Draymond Green suspension, where now the commissioner's the one who told him not to retire, because I can't imagine any commissioner in any league, certainly not Roger Goodell, telling a player that. And now Kevin Durant is apologizing for saying that Draymond needed help. This continues to fascinate me. This is a unique group of individuals.
Did he apologize from a burner Twitter account?
Well, that's what you wondered, right? Like, what's real and what's not with KD?
KD in the House of Leaves.
That is Mr. Mike. Welcome.
Howdy, everybody. Howdy.
I don't think your mic's working. You might want to check that. You sound like you're 1,000 miles away. But we'll get that fixed in a second. We're also here with Sick Boy, Mr. Megastar Mark.
I should have listened to Aaron Rodgers. I got vaccinated, and it made it worse.
Is it better now?
That's
No.
not fun to me.
I don't know.
That
We'll
sounds
figure it out. I don't know.
Anyway,
we're here
Yeah,
to talk about Week 18. How are you feeling, Sick Boy?
I'm doing all right.
All right. Well,
I
you're
haven't
the
seen
you're the
it.
second
Don't worry.
seed in the NFL.
Yeah, the AFC.
In
Yes.
the AFC.
We'll get there.
All right.
Some of us are the first seed.
Oh my
Some
God.
of us get a week off.
Some of us aren't in the playoffs.
The Rams with our second string.
Mark's Rams versus Mike's backups.
Anxious to talk about that.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's start out with one of my favorite topics, which is the Black Monday. Fired
There we
coaches.
go.
There you go.
Yay!
Crystal clear.
I got dressed
Okay.
by myself today.
All right. Fired coaches is my favorite thing. Black Monday is my favorite because everyone feels really sad for these coaches, but they make millions of dollars and they're a bunch of shitheads usually. So let's start with the number one.
Ron Rivera has cancer. Or had
Okay,
cancer.
I like Ron. I like
hasn't
Ron.
he been called a racial slur by his boss enough?
Yes, that's true. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Let's start with Arthur Smith. Fired at 12:01 a.m. They didn't even wait a single second minute to fire that guy and get him out of the building. Arthur Smith fired after a 7-9 season or 7-10 season for the third time or whatever it's been.
Good for Falcons fans. This whole
It said something. I think I saw a stat where he never won back-to-back games.
Oh my god.
That's
Like, ever.
incredible if that's true.
Yeah.
He never won back-to-back games.
Either that, it was
that.
either that, or he never won more than two in a row. I think he never won back-to-back games.
That's insane. That's insane.
Somebody's gonna. I think that's a pretty. I don't know. Like that's a interesting job to me. I next to
Really interesting job.
yeah right.
Yeah.
You have a lot of pieces already in place.
But there's
a
one
bad
prominent
division.
one that you don't
That's
have.
true. But that's your guy now.
That's quarterback Kirk Cousins.
That's the guy that you can
Totally.
groom. So
Chalk up quarterback Kirk Cousins to Atlanta.
Also,
One
I did hear Kurt say apparently he's debating taking a hometown discount to stay in Minnesota.
Okay, well,
He's
Mark,
like, I've made enough money.
Mark and I have talked about this for a year and a half. He's
Yeah.
been saying this for a year and a half, and the
Yeah.
Vikings have
They
been
don't
like,
want him.
The Vikings are like,
uh-uh.
no, absolutely not.
No.
Like not for any amount.
That's nice. I love you.
Thanks for
That's
dropping.
nice.
Thanks for dropping by.
No,
think
seriously,
they're
I love you. No, that's nice. Okay, you're really nice.
Falcons just need a Penix or two, and then they're going to be okay. So.
Oh my God. Well, Arthur Smith is out. Riverboat Ron is out. This was another one we knew was coming all
It is
year.
no surprise at all.
Literally,
Yeah.
what, like week 3? We were calling
Maryland's already called him.
As soon as they
Yeah.
sold the
Maryland.
team.
that. Yeah, right. This
Yeah.
is
You know
probably the most sought after job, I think.
Could be.
Yeah, because you can reinvent the
Chargers.
entire thing in your own image.
Chargers,
the
yeah,
Chargers
you're
have
right.
an established.
But
You
like
have,
this
you have
one,
Justin
they have-
Herbert.
Yeah, they have a shit ton of draft. They have a shit ton of picks. I think they had 6 in the top 100. That's amazing. They have a lot of cap space. because they traded away everybody. So you can kind of like if you are a guy who wants to be like hands on and bringing on players, this is probably the perfect spot for you. And you have a new ownership group, so
Yeah.
Hey, you know who I hear is a hell of a GM? Bill Belichick.
We talk about basketball a lot on the show. What do you think of Bob Myers being involved? The
crazy.
Golden State general manager being involved in
That's
this.
crazy. I mean, certainly, listen, he's the architect of an ongoing dynasty, of which like 25 epitaphs have been written, and then they won the title 2 years ago. But cap management in basketball and cap management in football are a very different game. Like he's
Cap
going to walk
in-
in there and be like, "Where do I get my mid-level trade exception?" And they're going to laugh him out of the room. Like there's no bird rights to anybody in the NFL. It doesn't work that way.
I'd like to renegotiate after 3 months, and the player just laughs you out of the building.
Right? Yeah. Like no, that's no.
The salary cap is also bizarre in the NFL. Like you just rip it up and do whatever you want, somewhat, and renegotiate.
Just the very idea that contracts in the NFL aren't guaranteed is a sea change from the way Bob Myers is used to doing business.
I read that this upcoming season, the Saints are $60 million over the cap, which sounds horrific.
For who?
It literally, though, is like 3 contract restructuring, and they're under the cap. So it's like, it's a real
hold on.
weird.
Michael Thomas.
Probably Michael Thomas.
Alvin Kamara? No, they're not paying Kamara that much.
Who's the D lineman that they've had forever?
Jordan?
Cam Jordan, probably.
Cam Jordan.
Is he still playing?
Yeah, he is.
He's still there. Yeah. Well, Riverboat's gone. He's on his way to college football. We would assume.
He's Maryland, Northwestern, any number of schools.
I'd play for him. I'd play for him.
Northwestern actually would also be an intriguing destination for him.
Where do we look at? Didn't he go to Cal? Am I thinking
something like that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Derek Carr is getting $35.7 million on the Saints cap.
Yeah.
Ryan Ramczak, Cam Jordan, Alvin Kamara is 18.8.
Ramczak's their tackle.
Demario Davis.
Yeah. These are all things though they said like a couple restructures are fine.
Yeah.
So it's it looks bad, but it's not really that bad.
All right. This one was odd. I'm going kind of in sort of in order. I don't know. Wink Martindale.
I saw that.
What's going on? Can you clue us in on what's going on here? So Brian Daboll, I'll start with this. Brian Daboll said, we know they hate each other. We talked about it all year. We know that they hate each other. Brian Daboll, who hates everyone.
Yeah,
except for Christmas. He loves Christmas.
Yeah, he hated
Tommy
He hated
and Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, and Kingdom Hearts.
And his new girlfriend Tammy.
Yeah,
3 cigarette Tammy.
She's got an IROC.
Yeah.
She's got 2 boats.
I gotta change my wig, lover.
Oh my god.
My mixtape.
Everything is cheetah print. She only wears cheetah print.
Cheetah print, yeah.
Well, Wink Martindale was Dayball said Martindale's coming back. Wink is coming back. And then a story came out that said Wink is resigned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But did you hear about like what happened?
Hey, Wink, you're coming back. The fuck
Nope.
I am.
Nope.
So the Giants fired like a shit ton of defensive assistants, right? Not a huge amount, but just like
Enough.
But they weren't like the defensive line coach. It was like the assistant defensive line coach or like the interior run defender coach. Like shit. They had some weird ones. One of those guys was like Martindale's like right hand man, and they didn't tell him that they were firing him. So he burst into his office, Daboll's office, cussed him out. And all he said, I resigned and then left, but nobody's been able to get a hold of him since. So nobody knows whether he's actually resigned.
Nobody knows if he's actually out or not.
Real fun. I love this one.
It's so
there was way back years ago. There was a guy I worked with who wanted to put in his 2 weeks notice, but his boss was on vacation for like a month. And not knowing what else to do or who else to tell, he just slid his 2 weeks notice under the door of his boss's office. And then after 2 weeks, just stopped showing up.
There you go.
nice.
You submitted it.
It was there.
Yeah.
It was there. There was notice.
Wink is, I don't know where Wink is, but
Nobody
he's
knows
out
where he
on the
is.
town. Nobody can find him. What a story.
Like that
Auditioning
weird
for the Game
story.
Show Network.
It's like, you remember that weird 36-hour period a few years back where we didn't know if Kim Jong-un was alive or not?
Yeah.
We're getting there with Wink Martindale.
He's in North Korea.
Him and
He's
Dennis
buried in the
Rodman.
other end zone of the Meadowlands now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
you
God.
know who knows where Wink Martindale is? Jean Leon.
Oh man. uh, Jean Leon is my favorite reference. Mike Vrabel fired today, which I was watching Rich Eisen earlier in the day, and what's his name? Not Will Compton, but the other one, Taylor Lewan was on, and learned about the firing on the air, and he was like, "Well, that sucks. That's stupid. Why would they do that?" And then Rich Eisen was like, "Well, he'd be a great college coach, right?" And or not Compton, the other guy, Taylor Lewan, he goes, "Oh no, he would be a terrible college coach." I thought that was great. He'd be a terrible guy. He would get in trouble. He would have problems.
I mean,
So
This is the one.
Vrabel's out.
I think it's a little early, but I'm guessing they think they've got somebody else in line. Like I saw the owner
Yeah.
or the managing partner, whatever her name is. I can't think of it right now. She had said that we could have traded him, but it would have taken an extra 3 weeks, and we didn't want to miss out on a candidate, which makes me think they've got somebody already in mind.
oh, that's a good point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
But I mean, he's not
Frank
done
Reich.
a bad job. Oh God.
Hey, he's coming home, baby.
I mean,
Hey guys, I'm taking the job.
we have a Tennessee Titan fan in the family, and he was happy that Vrabel was fired.
Very
So
happy.
maybe we're wrong, but I don't know. I don't think Vrabel's a bad coach.
Let's.
He took him to the AFC title game
Yeah, right. He was coach of
with
the year.
Ryan Tannehill.
That was in 2019, though. He hasn't done much since then.
In a very winnable division, by the way.
Yeah.
He going to New England, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
okay,
going
all right.
home.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
He's going home.
Yes, him and McDaniels. Pencil them in.
Right.
Offensive
Yeah.
coordinator Josh McDaniels.
Right. 100%.
100%.
Yep. Right. Okay.
Who says no to that?
Yep.
I hope they're both co-head coaches. That would be
Oh, my God,
that'd
yes.
be amazing.
Yes,
Please.
please make that happen.
please. And then they fight on the sideline every week.
Kevin Gilbride.
Oh, they just start.
It's like a really crappy version of the Odd Couple.
Yeah. Well, you described Josh McDaniels as an actual vagina at one point.
If the labia
walking-
fits.
A walking, living vagina. So
Yeah.
I don't think he's winning that fight.
I would not get a fight with Mike Vrabel.
I wouldn't want to either.
No.
Guy wants to cut his own dick off. He said it several times.
Mhm.
He said
He's like
that.
Dan Campbell level of crazy. I would
Yeah,
not mess
right.
with that dude.
14 cups of coffee and he's ready
Yeah.
to go. The other firing was the Jags fired all of their defensive coach. Every defensive coach they have
Yep.
was fired. All of them. Makes sense. Why not? Get
I
rid of
mean,
them.
the defense was bad, but the offense wasn't that much better, especially
No.
down the stretch.
Yeah,
So,
we'll talk about that in a second. Are there any,
Peterson
there's
on
a
the hot seat?
there's a couple other hot seat potentials, right? There's some people we
Belichick.
haven't
we got to. That's
talked about. Let's talk
yeah,
about
Belichick's
Bill.
the big one.
Bill, I like how sometimes he does stuff and it makes me like kind of for a second be like, that's kind of fun. He's like a crotchety ant that I kind of like, but I don't want to interact with very much. Where he's like, I'm the coach and I'm going to do what I always do. Like, you realize your fucking job's on the line, right? Yeah, but we could probably just make some changes and it's fine. I'll be here tomorrow.
realize your
What?
face.
What?
Like,
Slap
he
the
just
fuck
has
off.
a level of he gives zero fucks about
Yeah.
really anything, particularly the media. He's like, yeah, whatever, guys, I don't give a shit.
I can't wait. I've said this before. I can't wait for whether it's 5 years from now or 10 years from now. I can't wait for one of either Belichick or Brady to write the book where it comes out that they hated each other for their entire coexistence.
I could see
Yeah.
that.
I could see it being where it started off okay, and then like by
Yeah.
the third Super Bowl, it got dicey because Brady started thinking it was like Belichick was getting resentful of the fact that Brady was
Mhm.
starting to think it was him. Like I could see a messy divorce somewhere in the middle.
Well, supposedly Deflategate is the beginning of the end
Right.
for them.
Yeah.
So
Belichick.
we'll never find out.
I feel like he's
Belichick
gonna get-
won't tell anybody.
I feel like he's leaving this week. I feel like though they're just preparing a mutually, agreed upon release and thank you for all your service. Like they're going to make it a thing. before Belichick leaves. But I think he does leave.
Which they should. Like, let's be honest.
Why not?
Look, he's been driving the Death Star for 20 plus years.
Yeah, right.
He's potentially, if not the greatest coach in the history of the game, he's won the most Super Bowls. Like, he deserves to leave on at least decent terms with a franchise that he basically built.
Right.
They talked about like why hasn't he been fired yet? They're not going to fucking cut him like Arthur Smith or like in this group of degenerates. They're not going to let Belichick go. He's going to get his own day.
No, that's not how Kraft operates. He's a classy tug and pull gentleman.
Exactly. Oh, ma'am.
He's a classy tugger. He makes them wear white gloves when they do it. Does that mean we can play this? Hey, we have to wait to play this, or can we play it now?
We can play it now.
You can hear those sticks playing on those Death Star Stormtrooper helmets. The Wicked Witch is gone, boys.
Yeah,
very soon.
Here it comes.
Just let this play to the end.
So excited.
This came up because you said, Mark, I feel like the Ewoks playing the song on the dead Stormtrooper helmets.
Who's the redeemed ghost that appears at the end of this? Like, all right, like, Luke looks over. Who are the ghosts he sees over there?
Right.
Teddy Brewster.
Aaron Hernandez.
Yes. Oh, God.
Well,
he's actually dead.
Rodney Harrison.
Oh, God.
I was gonna say the ghost of Mo Lewis, because he's how all this nonsense started.
Yeah, thanks,
Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah. Look at the wrong way. Drew, this way. Come on, buddy. Turn around.
No.
No, fine.
Where's he's out. He's potentially out. So the National Nightmare is finally going to come to an end here, hopefully.
Yeah. He will go somewhere else, though. I feel that more, strongly now.
What else is he going to do?
Yeah, right.
Exactly. No, seriously, if he decides he wants to continue coaching football, he's going to land at some fucking Ivy League school.
Oh, wow.
He's got to do the Bill Walsh. He's got to do the Bill Walsh.
He's going to go right to FCS. He's going to go right to the Ivies. He's going to end up coaching Dartmouth or whatever. Actually, you know what? Holy Cross's coach took a job in the FBS. Yeah. He's going to end up at the HC. It's just across town.
Yeah.
But is he going to coach football or lacrosse there? That's the big question.
Both, yeah, right.
I want what I want from his
rowing or whatever. I don't know.
Is like a Florida thing. Like he retires to Florida. Like
the George Allen.
No more hoodies. Yeah, that's what I want. I want the
he's just wearing big Hawaiian shirts and driving a boat. Like Andy Reid at the Pro Bowl.
Yeah. Like Jimmy Johnson, not giving a fuck that he's losing with Dan Marino as quarterback. He's just on those boats.
He's going to end up being the DC for Charlotte under Biff.
Yeah.
Biff. The greatest sideline wardrobe in history.
Biff and Belichick together.
Belichick need to play, and he's just reading a paper.
So
just puts it down.
Drew, puts
it back up.
Drew, you don't think he's getting another NFL job?
I don't know. It's so. I mean, listen, maybe, but part of the equation here is that the man is over 70 years old.
What 70-year-old wants to change things?
If this were 10 years ago, and there were he was 61, and there was a franchise who was you know what? Maybe all we need him is 2-3 years to get us over the hump. Sure. But at 71, how long are you committed to this guy?
I think, Mike, you talked about it going to the Chargers. I think that's
the best
fit for him. Because
and oh, by the way, not for nothing, is he going to want to still be the GM at whatever team he goes to?
Yeah.
That's going to be a stumbling block for a whole bunch of teams, especially at age 71.
Whoever he goes to, they got to hire Dimitrov or somebody like that he already has a relationship with.
Josh.
They would. I think the Chargers would be like, hey, he can go right in there. He has a franchise quarterback, the only spot that has that opportunity that's open right now.
I can't see him taking another rebuilding project quarterback.
No.
He's got to be like, nope, I tried that.
100%. I think the Chargers make the most sense.
I mean, they do. They make the most sense, but And they have some pieces on defense he could work with.
I'm going to check something real quick. Chargers 2024 schedule.
Oh,
Do they
boy.
play the Patriots?
Oh, boy. Oh,
Let's
boy.
see.
All right. Who else is on the fireable list here that we haven't gotten
Holy
fired yet?
shit, they do. And it's on the
Of course.
road.
Oh,
So-
perfect. That'll happen.
Oh yeah. That's the universe lining it up for us,
Yep.
It's in
gentlemen.
the stars now.
It's not even
Yeah.
like they play that division. It's that one game where you play the like the 4th seed or whatever you were.
Mm.
They get the Chargers.
I have two.
You have 2
potentials.
other potential firings?
Yes, and they're in the
Okay.
same division.
Okay.
Mm.
Dable could be the only one who survives in that division. I could see the I
yeah.
could see the Cowboys and potentially the Eagles firing.
If Nick Sirianni loses to
This weekend,
the Bucks on Monday night,
I think if both of these teams lose this weekend, they're
How do
both gone. I think that's right, Mike. I think you're right. dead
Like,
on.
how do you not fire Sirianni if he goes like 1-8 down the stretch after going 10-1?
I'm not quite sure Jerry Jones knows his coach's name, so I don't think he's
Jerry.
gonna have any problem firing.
Jerry
him.
loves McCarthy because he can push him around and tell him what to
yes,
do.
that's exactly right.
So I don't see that happening. But
No, I do. At this point, if they lose again, Ryan, in the wild card again,
yeah.
they can't keep.
How
him
do you
around.
not?
Right.
Especially after they fell apart.
Unless they hire Bill
God.
Belichick, are they going to? Will the Cowboys bring in Belichick?
That'd be interesting.
Okay, if that happens, I'm going to be filled with incoherent rage.
Yeah.
That would be something if
Well,
they
I'm
fire
combining
him for
two things I
Belichick.
hate more than anything.
Right, combined?
2024 Dallas Cowboys schedule. Let's see.
As we're talking about random things that won't happen, but I want to happen just for
Mm-hmm.
the opposite effect of it. I want Belichick to leave the Patriots, and then I want the Patriots to hire Dabo Sweeney, who's the exact opposite of Bill Belichick.
Yes, please. Well, the Raiders. We don't know what's going to happen to the Raiders, right?
Yes, we do.
It's not going to be Belichick.
They're going to
No,
hire Jim
No,
Harbaugh.
it's not going to be Bill Belichick, and the thing we know is that it's not going to be Antonio Pierce.
No.
Oh my
Like they
God.
might as well have come out and said it already.
Yeah.
Like Mark Davis is all he's talked about is how appreciative he is of the job Pierce has done and how they have a timetable for when they're going to hire a coach, which means
Yep.
it is not going to be Pierce.
Have
Yeah.
they
No
requested
chance.
anybody's? Because like the Panthers and a lot of a lot of other teams have like requested interviews. Have the Raiders requested a single interview?
Not to my knowledge, the only
No, I
name
haven't
you hear,
seen
the
that.
It's
only
100%
name,
Harbaugh. Then
the only name you hear connected to them is Harbaugh, or there is a wild hair out there that they might try to bring John Gruden back again.
no, I can't.
Yeah, that I saw that a few weeks ago. I was surprised.
They're paying him; they might as well.
Because Mark Davis never wanted to get rid of him in the first place.
Yeah,
He was
right.
forced
So what the
to
hell's
do
the
it.
difference?
There's also another weird rumor, which we're going to talk about Dennis Allen in a little bit, but that Dennis Allen wants to hire him, Gruden, as like a passing game
He
coordinator.
should. That's how he
or
started.
something.
That's how he started with Philly.
Yeah.
But just,
Um,
I mean, if you're Harbaugh, why would you take the Raiders job?
Because the
Vegas
NCAA is going
money.
to shut down Michigan in the next 2 years.
Yeah,
I'm going to take that banner away. What
Brand new
about
stadium,
our guy Eberflus? What about him?
They
Is he
seem
sur-
to be
is he
okay
going to
with him.
survive?
They seem to be okay with him.
Yeah, right. That's the wrong move, by the way, but they seem to be fine with him.
Why in the world?
And
It's-
his because they don't know which of him is really him to fire.
Right.
Remember, he's the
They
one
can't
with the
figure
Saddam
out who he
Hussein
is.
body doubles.
Right.
Yes. He's got the Saddam Hussein body doubles in him. Which one's Eberflus? They don't know.
They all are.
It's
None of them
E-Day.
are.
Oh my God.
He's got life model decoys running all over that building.
Agent Coulson? What are you doing here?
it's like
Um,
Stalin.
Oh, I kind of like Matt Eberflus Doom bots running around.
Yeah. Just robots.
One of
It's
them
like
is maybe
Blowfield
Christoph.
and James Bond. He's going to keep changing appearance, but it's still
Yeah.
Eberflus. She's the eye
think-
scar.
I think that's it. Who are the other those are the two playoff teams.
I think
Anybody
it's a-
else?
Mike, I
Well,
think
let's-
it's really dead on. I
let's
think if
face
either
it,
of those
I-
two teams lose,
I think
that's
Phil. I think Philly.
all. Oh yeah.
Philly just seems like a train wreck, and I
What?
honestly could see them losing to Baker.
The only team. Well, we'll get to it when we talk about them.
Well, and let's face it, I think it's become very fashionable to not wait till the end of the season to do your firing. I think a lot of the proverbial heads that were going to roll already rolled in the middle of the season.
Yep. Right.
Right.
Are we going to do playoff predictions for the wild card at the end of this? Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've got it.
I'm so
I've got it.
bad.
I've got it. It's hard to do. the other thing I put in here before we get to the games was Poochie. He's back at it. Poochie.
Oh my God, Jesus.
Poochie
There's
was
so
at
much I
it
wanna
last
say.
week. I think we made a tease about Poochie and never even talked about him, which he would
That's why he
hate.
did this, because he found out. we didn't talk
This is
about
why.
it. Yeah, right.
He,
This is why we are sinners in the eyes of an angry God.
God, I can't stand this man. I
This-
cannot
this-
stand. He was on McAfee again today,
course he
saying
was.
weird stuff.
There's
Oh, boy.
110 things that are wrong with him. Here's I think right now, today, ask me tomorrow, it'll be different. The one that annoys me most right now today is yesterday when everybody involved with the Jets did their exit interviews or whatever, they asked Aaron to address, like, hey man, what about all this stuff? To which
Right.
his response was, I'll talk about it on the show tomorrow.
Yes.
You conniving, manipulative fuck.
Right.
Like,
He also chastised the
you just
Jets.
accused a man publicly of pedophilia, and you're like, nah, I'm going to talk about it tomorrow when I'm paid to do it.
Mm-hmm.
He also chastised the Jets for distractions and bullshit, which is what he said.
Yeah, he says they should flush the bullshit, which to me means they should look for another quarterback.
Yeah,
Right.
90% of the bullshit is coming from you, my
No,
guy.
it's not bullshit. Brees Hall, Garrett Wilson. You know these. Quit.
Well, apparently Garrett Wilson went into his exit interview and aired it out with the Jets brass.
should've.
He
though.
said, "quote This was the worst
The
year of
worst
my
year of my
entire
life."
life."
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Ouch.
I don't think though. I mean, to me, that's probably just because of all the drama that's circling this team. You know, like
Yeah.
We'll talk about it, but the Jets finished 7-10. They had, I think that's an accomplishment.
They had
Like,
no
that-
business being
Yeah.
7
like
10.
0. So
Yeah. Right.
there's good things on the horizon for the Jets.
Poochie, what's he going to talk about next week? Oh my
Who
god.
gives a shit? I'm officially done caring about
Let
it.
me. You know what I want to talk? I want to talk about Bigfoot. Give me like 4 hours of Bigfoot. Your thoughts on Bigfoot? I'd sit down
That'd be
for that.
great.
Right?
Why
totally
not?
fine.
Because you
Right.
know he has thoughts.
He 100% has thoughts.
He has
Give
the
me-
thoughts.
He'll tell us all about it when he gets back from his darkness sweat hut.
Yes.
I'm
and
okay
we'll go
with
from there.
all of this. What
Or
I'm not okay
cryptids.
with is his like two timing stuff where he's like,
Yeah,
I
right.
didn't do anything. Why is there a shitstorm? Like,
That's what I'm
because
saying,
you
like-
caused it.
If
Because
gonna
you're
be
a passive
crazy-
aggressive patty.
Yeah. Just own the fucking fact that you didn't get a shot.
He's like,
Stop already.
so he's like 2 minutes away from having like a really like badly lit beardy YouTube video with all his
Yes.
conspiracy theories. Like,
Yeah.
you know what he is? He's because he just drops these vague, ill-researched hints about stuff. Years and years and years ago, I talked to John Schaefer, who was the singer and guitar player and songwriter for Iced Earth. Anybody remember Iced Earth? Show of hands. No, good.
No.
All right. He ended up getting arrested in the January 6th investigation, and then cooperated with authorities after they threatened to take his passport away, so he couldn't tour anymore. Anyway, years ago, long before that, I interviewed him, and like we were just talking about music, and suddenly he got way off the rails with some crazy shit. And I asked him, I was like, okay, not that I want to steer into the curve, but you've brought it up. Let's steer into the curve. And he was like, and I just said, John, what should people do about this? To which he had no answer at all. His answer was just to repeat the stuff. And then he just kept saying, people just got to wake up, man. And I was like, yes, but wake up to what? Wake up and do what? To which his answer was, people just got to wake up, man. Like, that's where Aaron Rodgers is.
Yes.
Because he doesn't have a factual basis for anything. So he just likes to sound smart in his own mind.
Yep.
He did not like getting called out for not being smart. Though.
Right.
He really didn't
Oh, he
like
hated
that.
that.
No,
right.
and I'm sure he didn't
Oh,
like
he
getting
hated
called out,
that.
and I'm sure he didn't like getting called out and threatened with litigation, which, by the way, he would totally be on the hook for.
100%. I miss
I
Killer
mean, yeah.
Greg's rants about Aaron Rodgers' book club
Yeah.
and what
Right.
could possibly be in that book club other than
God.
Ayn Rand novels.
Oh,
It's
God.
all Ayn Rand novels.
Yeah,
This week, we're reading The Fountainhead again.
again.
That was the one that Greg said
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah. I mean, that or Atlas Shrugged, but
Atlas
Fountainhead
Shrugged.
is the one.
Oh man. Okay. Well, that's enough, Poochie. All right, let's get into our categories here. There's two categories. The category is these matter and these don't. That's it. Give
Plow
myself a
through the
little break
contestants.
here.
Yes,
I'm giving myself a break here. First category of the matters, the number one thing. There's 0 to heroes, the Bills. go from out of the playoffs to the number 2 seed when they beat the Dolphins because the Bills and in this true Bills fashion. I enjoy Chris Collinsworth sometimes. Sometimes he gets a little too crazy, but most of the time he's pretty good. And his description of Josh Allen's play in the first quarter, was perfect. He goes, "This guy's out here shooting no-look fadeaway jumpers." That's what he was doing. He's just chucking the ball, just hoping things happen, throwing interceptions. But a punt return leads to the Bills going up, and the Dolphins continue to have injuries, and the Dolphins really put themselves in a really bad spot here. But the Bills get the Steelers.
That's
it.
no easy pull though, especially with how. Well, I'll talk about that when we talk about.
Okay, all right. Well, the Bills win this important game and get home field advantage.
Right.
So, sorry, keep going. Do your Bills first. I have a Dolphins thing.
Here's the thing. Like, things I liked. I thought Sean McDermott, his defense in the second half was fucking outstanding, especially when they were down. They lost Rasul Douglas in this game, and although I guess he's fine, but they have to do a lot of adjustments on the fly, and they shut down Tua and Tyreek and Arcane in the second half. So they adjusted very well. I appreciated that. Gabe Davis, you hack, you useless trash heap bum. I hope your leg never heals, because when he's out and Khalil Shakir is in, it is a different offense. So I hope Gabe gets shown the door, because that guy, I'm tired of his flash in the pan type of behavior. Khalil Shakir is the better player. Khalil Shakir should be the number 2 moving forward. So we'll see how that happens. Things I didn't like: Josh Allen, stop. Okay, it's not that he's throwing interceptions. I'm used to that by now. It's that he's throwing them in the end zone, and that's what's killing me. When they're at the 5-yard line, I don't even care about the way that they ran twice, and then he decides to throw on the third down. That's fine, but he's just making irresponsible plays, and they got away with 4 turnovers in that game, and they still won.
Yeah.
That's
he
not
fumbled.
Gonna happen.
He also fumbled in the red zone.
Try that against the Steelers. That ain't going to work. They got to tighten that shit up. But they did what they had to do. They won, and they're not winning these games pretty, but they're winning these games. And when you're in the playoffs, there are no style points anymore. Nobody gives a shit how you win as long as you win. So I'm happy, but goddamn, Josh, he's going to fucking kill me.
But all those...
He's the new Brett Favre.
He is the new Brett. He 100% is Brett Favre.
He's just a gunslinger out there.
But all those Josh Allen turnovers led to my brother losing, which led to Mark backdooring his way into a fantasy championship. Well done.
Wow. Congratulations to you, Mark.
Yeah, thank you. It was, it's one thing. I do want to talk about one more thing too. I appreciate that the Bills kept running the ball in this game, even though it wasn't working, because that last touchdown to Knox that put him up ahead, and that was turned out to be the go-ahead touchdown. They kept James Cook. The Dolphins did a fantastic job at shutting Cook down, but they couldn't cheat. They couldn't just back up, because they still kept trying to run, and that gave Knox the opening on the side. So I like that even if it doesn't work, they've learned now we have to keep doing it. So I appreciate that. I feel like moving forward, that's promising. So
Knox is real, by the way.
Yeah, he's tough.
Guy's a ball player.
Yeah. You ever happen to Deion Dawkins, the Bills tackle in this game?
No.
Disgusting. He's married. He wears his ring underneath the gloves. He's an offensive lineman. He wears.
Shouldn't wear your ring.
No. And he got it. He put his hand up, and it caught one of the defender's face mask, and it almost. They said it tore 3/4 of his finger off, and he had to get it reattached and sewed together and stuff. So,
that's gross.
Yeah, but you listen. And the Dolphins, I think, played very well considering they were down by so many people. So.
Didn't happen for them. Now they got to go to Arrowhead, so
they got to go to Arrowhead. Yep.
We'll see what happens there.
Hey, a friend of mine who I work with, who I love dearly, he is Miami sports through and through. Most notable for the fact that he despises Eric Spoelstra. Absolutely loathes him.
Really?
Yes. Now, to couple that forward, after the Dolphins lost, I got a series of text messages describing what a terrible coach Mike McDaniel is.
Oh, come on.
The Dolphins would be better off without him because he calls a bunch of stupid bullshit plays and doesn't play to their strengths, of which it's not entirely clear in the text messages what my friend believes those to be.
Yeah.
But it was a worthwhile read. Because I was like, who do you like? Like, you hate every coach in your city.
Bernie Parmalee.
Yeah. I think McDaniel, I think he had a good game plan going in, and I think he in the first half it worked very well. So anyone who wants to get rid of McDaniel, he's the best you got.
Yeah, why?
And do you know
although
what we were before that,
McDaniel, even himself would admit on Hard Knocks, what did he say the one week? He's like, "Oh, I called some fucking trash ass plays out there." Here's a bunch of bad plays that I did. That
we did get
you
the
guys
McDaniel face out of this game, though. So
yeah, the look with the gold glasses. He's starting to turn into a Bond villain. Yeah, he's got the watch and the gold glasses now. Oh boy! All right. Well, the Bills win. They get the second seed after we thought they were dead and buried. So congratulations to you, Mark.
Back into the second seed, sure.
Oh man! All right. Well, the Titans woke up and finally won a game.
Yay!
They had Ryan Tannehill out there. It looked like 2019. They had Derrick Henry. Hey. They ran him more than 15 times. He was good.
Like Mark said to us, Ryan Tannehill wants to leave there with a win, and he did.
He sure did.
He did what he said he was going to do.
Ryan Tannehill proved you wrong, Mark.
Seriously,
he beat the Jags.
Fucking Jags, man.
How do you go from the craziest comeback win ever to this? In a year is pretty rough. Although I heard someone talking about the Jags and they were like they're such frauds. They should have absolutely beat the Chiefs last year in that playoff game, and they blew it. Like when Mahomes was injured and they let Chad Henne win a game. Like they should have won that game.
Yeah.
There is, I guess, a lot of rumors that Lawrence is hurt a lot more than what was
listed,
hurt, which is a problem. If that comes out, you could lose a draft pick. But
is it his non-throwing shoulder?
It's like
I don't know.
He has an ankle injury too.
Well, because I remember watching when he threw the touchdown pass, he ran up for the celebration, and it looked like his left arm was just dead, he couldn't bring it up here.
I'm sure he's hurt.
I mean, he also put one on Calvin Ridley that he should have caught.
Right.
Come on.
This isn't just when they fired all the defensive coaches. I'm like, the offense also has sputtered quite a bit over the last 6 weeks.
Yeah,
but that would be Doug Peterson taking blame himself, and we know that's not going to happen.
There you go. I love it. All right, the Texans knocked out the Colts when the Colts decided to throw to a third string running back on 4th and 1 and blew it. Which makes me really depressed because CJ Stroud is in the playoffs.
Sure is.
That's it for the fighting Minshew's.
But doesn't it make you happy that Gardner Minshew isn't? Shouldn't there be a net zero there?
Yeah, honestly.
I got nothing against Gardner Minshew. I just don't want to see him play a playoff game.
Yeah, out of all those teams that were around the 7th seed, the Colts were the least. I did not want to see them make the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. But also, whoever had that game and whoever put together the graphic of Minshew, I don't have it pulled up, or he's he looks up and gives the eyebrows. That is amazing. Have you seen that?
The dude is a pro wrestler.
I love him.
Absolutely is.
I love him as a pro wrestler, but not as a starter. Although Panthers, I'll take them. Packers clinch against the Bears.
Yeah.
Drew's Packers.
Right.
Take out the Bears. You were on the Packers before anybody. And they beat the Bears here.
But I don't feel good about being on them. You know what I mean? This team ain't going all that far.
I don't know. We're gonna see.
Unless Jordan Love turns back into what Trevor Lawrence should be again.
Yeah, right.
You brought the Packers home from the bar, but you don't want your roommates to know about it.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Keep the lights off.
That is strictly a lights off engagement.
Yeah. We haven't had any of these yet, so we have to do it now.
But at least that hot mess can keep you warm. Those lucky devils and comas don't have to watch this shit show anymore. We fired the corpse of Frank Reich so he can be in bed by 8. We proved the opposite of love is apathy, it's not hate. Carolina, oh Carolina, our quarterback still can't reach the cookie jar.
He still can't reach the counters. Carolina loses to the Bucks 9-0, which means that Carolina over the last 2 weeks scored 0 points in the NFL. 2 weeks, 0 points. They should have scored
Low
when
score
DJ
wins.
Chark fumbled in the end zone. That was a potential score that he fumbled it out of the end zone, that whole move. So Baker got a bake. Baker gets his revenge. He gets himself a home playoff game.
Yeah.
He threw for 4,000 yards. Could have held on to him, but no. The Bucks are back in. Todd Bowles looked like a man relieved. Like he had just taken a shit. I can't believe it.
God.
Oh my god. So that'll be it for the season. Thank God I don't have to watch this team ever again.
Yep.
No more Chris Tabor. I just want to bring up some stats here real quick on this Panthers season.
I mean, you do have the first pick in the second round. There's that.
Is that Washington receiver going to fall, please? Good God. Somebody fall.
I can't remember if I said this on the podcast, but the Oregon receiver who I like, the more I watch him, they were describing him as like he gets wasted with Bo Nix because Bo Nix is very conservative, and this guy is like he's a playmaker through and through, and like he wants to have the ball thrown up. It's like the best thing for him is to go to a team that has like a quarterback who just throws it in there, doesn't care where it goes. I'm like, oh honey, do I got a quarterback for you?
Got somebody for you.
One Joshua Allen.
Will you last until like 24? Because I got
Perfect
a guy
for that.
Yeah.
I mean, Ryan, you could get used to Carolina Panthers starting quarterback Bo Nix.
That's not going to happen. I mean, they're going to bring back Bryce. Listen to Bryce's stats. He missed one game, right? They fake benched him for Andy Dalton at one point.
Right, I forgot about that.
Jesus
Red
Christ.
Rocket.
Yeah,
they fucking fake benched him for a game. He wasn't hurt. Bryce Young threw for 2,877 yards and 11 touchdowns. 11.
I feel like 1,000 yards of that went to Thielen.
Yeah,
You're right. He had 1,000 yards.
Really?
He should have had more. Nobody else was even close.
Who would have called the Adam Thielen 1,000-yard season this year?
He's the only guy they could throw to.
Yeah, right.
Good grief.
Yeah,
How many picks did he have, Ryan?
10. 11 touchdowns, 10
Hey,
picks.
you know what? More touchdowns than picks. That's rare in your rookie
By
season.
one.
It is.
DeVito had better stats.
Peyton Manning threw 28 interceptions in his first season.
Yeah, everyone always says
Also,
that. And then,
not talking about
you don't have to have
shit.
Bryce Young be your quarterback.
He also threw a shit ton of interceptions in his second and third season,
Second
too.
and third season, yeah.
So he
Joe
kinda figured
Namath
it
has
out.
more career interceptions than touchdowns.
We know what Joe Namath did.
Mm.
Yeah, I can't say it.
Wow.
All right, moving on to the what category. The Giants beat the Eagles because Nick Sirianni.
Wow.
Nick Sirianni.
This Eagles team, what, they
They're
lost 5 out of
cursed.
7. They should have lost 6 out of 7 if
6
that
out of
kicker didn't
7.
make that crazy kick in the rain.
Mhm.
Like, this team, what is wrong with it? What happened?
They lost to the Niners.
Matt Patricia took over as defensive coordinator.
in the face.
That's what happened.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Georgia didn't make the playoff.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, the
Crazy.
Giants won, and then all the Giants chaos happened. Tyrod Taylor out there.
Ty God.
The Ty God. Oh, God.
There's
Patricia.
we have him right here.
Has to be a pencil.
Yeah.
Pencil.
2024.
Gotta find a
Where's
pencil. Find a pencil. All right,
There you
that's
go.
the.
Oh,
Thank you. Is that a stack of pencils? It's a lot of.
That's a screwdriver.
You're putting a screwdriver? That goes in your ear if you're a Matt Patricia.
Yeah, right, you got to be eating something.
Yeah.
By the way, it bears repeating. RPI zone, Matt Patricia.
Yes, that's true.
RPI zone.
It won't fit.
There was some
How on
unpleasantness,
earth?
if I remember, too.
How on earth did he ever get into that school? All right, those are the category. Those are the games that kind of mattered.
He studied
Most-
business.
Mostly mattered. Jesus Christ. The other ones that didn't quite matter or end up mattering. One of them was the Saints and the Falcons, but there was a coach fight,
Yes, there
which
was.
is my most interesting thing of the week. Forget about the playoffs.
That game did matter. If the Falcons won that game, they would have
No.
all finished like 8 and whatever. They would have been under
The
500,
Bucks.
and the Falcons would have won the division.
By the Bucks winning, they had no chance of.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
moving
Bucks win.
on.
Yep. All right.
When the Bucks won, which
My-
of course
my-
they were going to.
My favorite part of this whole Saints Falcons debacle is that apparently Jameis Winston is at the
Yes.
center of it. Of
course
and
he
of
is.
course he is.
Yes.
He's an agent of
Yes.
chaos.
Yes.
He's a force of nature.
So the Saints looked like they should have looked all year, and they finally scored a bunch of points and threw it all up. And Derek Carr looked great in a game that didn't matter. It was like the Cousins zone pretty much from last year, where anytime Cousins was down by 3 scores, he was looking great. That's kind of what, or the game didn't matter.
Yes, as long as there's no pressure.
And no pressure whatsoever. So the Saints go up 41-17, and then they go for a victory formation. Dennis Allen calls victory formation, kneel it down on the 1 after a pick that the Honey Badger didn't score on. He got knocked at the 1.
Speaking of other guys who I had no idea are still playing in this
Honey
in the league.
Badger. So they decided to go victory formation, but Jameis Winston's in the game, so you know something weird's going to happen. He decided to change the play to hand it off to Jamal Williams, which totally forgot he was on this team. He's led the NFL in touchdowns last
I
year,
remember.
and this year he had 0. So Jameis Winston decided to give this guy a touchdown, and they handed it off in victory formation, which the Falcons were not trying. They thought they were kneeling it because they were up by so much. But no, Jamal Williams scores. And at the end of the game, we see Arthur Smith, our dearly departed, come over and scream at Dennis Allen. And the exchange goes something like this. What the fuck was that? I don't know. They did it on their own. Well, what the fuck? I don't know. I'm fucking pissed. Yeah, I understand that. All right, fuck you. That was the exchange. Dennis Allen is like, I don't know. They did it on their own.
Apparently,
I can understand why you're mad.
I think I saw somewhere where basically the Saints play, like the Saints players to the Falcons are like, the Falcons are like, you're doing victory formation, right? They're like,
Sure.
Sure looks like
they
it.
ran it.
Sure.
That's something you could do.
Jameis Winston can't help but piss in everyone's cornflakes, including his own. It's his nature. He is fated to destroy.
I feel like he's going to get cut for this.
He's a free agent.
Might get cut anyway.
I
Is he?
don't
Oh,
think
okay.
Yeah, but also him and the Saints have that weird, like, broken up, back together, boys to men song relationship. Right. Like, they're gonna wind up back with each other when they realize nobody wants to deal with either of their bullshit.
Yep.
When have you ever seen a coach fight where it's like, hey, go fuck yourself? Oh, we probably should. I've never seen that.
That one Sabres, who was it? Sabres and Stars? No, Hitchcock. It was like Ruff and Hitchcock almost fought each other, like literally swung at each other.
Who was it? Was it Lindy Ruff that almost went over the boards with a hockey stick to attack a fan?
Yeah, yes, it was.
Oh my god,
Miss Lindy.
I like the guy who tried to run. When Hitchcock and Ruff were fighting, the guy standing between them, keeping them apart, was Rob Ray. I'm like, that is the wrong guy to de-escalate a situation.
Rob Ray recently made news because he was calling a game and took a puck off the bridge of his nose and required stitches in the game and then continued to call the game.
Of course he was.
Of course he did. He's Rob Ray.
I would say he dealt with Ty Domi for a decade. That's not.
Oh man. Well, the coach fight was fun. I enjoyed that very much. Also, 2 division rivals being stupid against each other, and then the Jameis explanation was even funnier.
Yeah,
we were just like, I don't know. The team decided it. It's like you can't.
Hold on. Somebody today tried to defend. I was. Oh God.
Jimmy Graham defended it. Jimmy Graham said, and fuck the Falcons.
Fuck the Falcons. I love how he ended it.
I love that.
That is good.
It's not his fault. He's a great teammate. Also, fuck the Falcons.
That's the kind of pro wrestling thing that like regular sports needs just a little bit more.
Yeah, we need more of that.
What though is with the Saints having players who I thought retired 10 years ago? Jimmy Graham.
Who else do they have? Honey Badger.
Yeah.
Michael Thomas.
Apparently.
My Madden 2014 franchise looking pretty good.
I like it. The Cowboys.
Jimmy Graham, as my dad used to say about Keith Van Horn. Well, he's still tall.
He's still out there.
Yeah.
The Cowboys love to kill teams, especially the Commanders. My God, they put a hurting on the Commanders twice this year.
This is what they do.
They love to do it, and they did it again.
I love to beat under 500 teams.
Yes, right. This is
It's like when you play basketball against like 6-year-olds and you just fucking dunk on them on that little 7-foot hoop.
Or the Pistons.
Yeah, well, Detroit. It's Detroit's.
There you go.
The bad boys.
By the way, Which, by the way, the Spurs aren't much better, but I have hope they'll get a win because they play the Pistons tomorrow.
There you go.
Can't wait. What a matchup.
Wembanyama's
Mark's
gonna go for
Rams.
40.
My
Mark's
Rams, baby.
Rams. They're in
Yes,
versus
they are.
Mike's 49ers. Sam Darnold still doesn't look great. So I know you took Christian McCaffrey, but you have to deal with Sam Darnold. So thanks for that.
Look, we almost won a game with our entire second string.
You did.
Like-
you almost won.
I'm happy the Rams won, but at the same time, this is a nothing to be proud of.
Carson
Nope.
Wentz versus Sam Darnold in 2023.
Wentz, Darnold,
Nothing else.
To bring up Madden franchise that like 5 or 6 years ago, there's definitely somebody's Madden franchise
Yeah.
where this was the Super
Yeah.
Bowl.
Right, yes.
Yes. Okay. The Seahawks beat the Cardinals by 1 point. Who cares?
Yeah.
That game was meaningless when things happened. When the Packers won. The Steelers beat the backups of the Ravens in a downpour.
That was important, though. They needed to do
That
that to
was
get in the
important.
They needed to do
playoffs.
that
It
to
was
get in.
important. The
Right.
Ravens were not trying.
No.
The
Well, and
Bengals.
Yeah, but as soon as I saw the win condition for the Steelers that was like they get in the playoffs if they win and Buffalo or Jacksonville loses, I was like, they're totally it because Jacksonville
good.
is going to piss this one down their leg.
And they
Instantly.
sure did. They sure did that. The Bengals beat the Browns. Fourth stringers or whatever we're on now for the Browns.
Whatever.
Jake Browning. Jake Browning's girlfriend is very famous now. That's all we can say about this game. The Lions beat the Vikings. They played their starters. They got Sam Laporta hurt. That's going to hurt them in the playoffs. The Vikings again did the Nick Mullins offense where they just chuck it everywhere and doesn't quite turn out for them. Backup Chiefs beat the backup Chargers. That was pretty ugly.
Yep.
Blaine Gabbert. We had a Blaine Gabbert appearance.
Gabbo.
Guy named Gabbo.
Raiders beat the Broncos. This Fighting Stidham Bowl.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
Stidhams. The Stidhams go down. Raiders
had a good
win.
Last
And,
couple of weeks.
You know, Antonio Pierce finishes his season with a winning record as coach after getting, Max Crosby and the Miracles to turn into a real defense, and it's going to net him with a job with another team.
Well,
The Raiders.
But
the
other team will be
Raiders.
happy to
Is
have
there any
him.
chance they keep him as a D coordinator?
No.
That would be embarrassing.
No, and if I were him, I wouldn't take that.
Yeah, right.
that would be embarrassing.
Yeah, I
if
wouldn't
that
have
F
him.
you.
There's plenty
Somebody
of
else will pay him to do that.
Honestly, if Wink Martindale's out, go home to New York. Go to the Giants.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
That's a good fit.
Why not? Why not? We played the Yab Yum song or whatever it is already, but the Jets beat the Patriots in the snow, and that was fun.
Yes, that was
Trevor
the end.
Siemian, Brees Hall with 37 carries.
They were
37.
man, no regard for him. just constantly spamming that
It's
A
the last game of the year. Let's go.
Right.
And I mean, honestly, not for nothing, you saw it talked about recently with Jadeveon Clowney and then with Chris Jones, and you wonder if Brees Hall had some kind of contract incentive he was trying to get to,
Maybe.
and the coaches were like, you know what, screw it, feed him, see if he gets there.
Feed the man. All right.
Okay.
Caleb Williams' dad bracket. The season's over. And give me some handicaps from Caleb Williams' dad.
Well, do we want to go over what now that we know what is the top 5 here?
Yeah. So starting with the Bears.
Yeah, we have the
Give me,
Bears.
give me some Bears takes. I'll be right back.
The Bears, I think the Bears think they're going to stick with Justin
I do
Fields.
too.
The
I know,
problem is,
and it's-
the problem is, and if it were anybody but the Bears, I would put this conspiracy theory out there, which is that the Bears might be saying that so to try and entice other teams to put the best package together for the pick.
Mhm.
Where if they came out and they were like, well, we might stick with Justin, but we're still going to do our due diligence and we're going to work out Caleb Williams and all this other stuff. Like, then maybe they don't get quite the king's ransom that they're looking for if they're trying to shop it. But I think they're going to stick with Fields.
I do too. Like it's like the players themselves are defending him.
Yeah.
Like
And
he's
it's
our
not like
guy.
It's not like he's been awful the last
No.
6-7 games.
No.
Ever since he said he needed to ignore his coaches, he's been much better.
I do think it's the wrong call though. Like if
I
you
do
have a chance
too.
to get Caleb
I
Williams,
do
you
too.
take Caleb Williams. But
But also, they're already making the wrong call by sticking with Matt Eberflus.
Yeah, right.
Right. So, like,
To me,
two wrongs
I
make a
thought
right, right?
if they were gonna if they fired Eberflus, then it's like, okay, they're definitely gone. It's done. They're gonna take Caleb Williams.
Yep.
But I
Right,
think
yes.
Drew, I think you kind of nailed it. Where they're whole, and they may still take him anyway. It could be
Yeah,
something
they
where
may
they
still
sit
take him
there
anyway
and
and
they
then try
don't
to
get
trade
they don't
him.
get the deal they want at the moment, and then they take him.
Yeah, they take him and then hold him for ransom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at
I mean,
John
I think-
Elway.
Because you got Washington at 2, and they desperately want Caleb Williams. 'Cause
Washington either will take him or will trade up to
will
take
trade
him.
up. I agree. I think that is the most likely spot for him. And honestly, Drake May going to New England almost feels like a good fit there too. Like he just strikes me as more of a Patriot than anything else.
No, see, the problem is they're going to trade down and take Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Like they're going to trade to like 27, and they're going to take Bo Nix.
But here's the thing: Bill's not going to be there.
Yeah.
That's true too. That's true too.
Yeah, maybe they'll change the strategy here.
Yep.
They may actually draft someone in the first round now.
Oh, please. If Josh McDaniels is the coach, which I think we all think is going to happen, he's going to stay at 3, and then he's going to take, I don't know, he's going to take freaking Tulane's quarterback because he thinks he sees something that nobody else does. This is the guy who took Tim Tebow in the first round.
Yeah. Right.
He takes a kicker.
I can't wait for all the chaos.
Hey, Sebastian Janikowski had a long career.
Janko.
Yes, he
Love
did.
Janko. And also appeared in a porno tape.
Well,
He was in Daryl Russell's porno tape. Not
I'm
doing
saying,
anything, just like,
I'm
hey,
here-
there's
Shane
Sebastian Janikowski.
Lechlers.
I'm here. I'm here to kick down a field goal.
Yeah. Right this way.
oh,
Into the boudoir.
You can imagine what happens next. Yeah, he hits it from 63.
Yeah.
Three, yeah.
Right.
While smoking a cigarette,
Right. Then he
holding a fifth of gin.
then he eats
Look,
a-
him and Jay
eats
Cutler need to have a buddy cop show.
yes.
Make it happen.
I'm surprised he's
Cutler and
still not.
Janikowski.
You
Like,
could just bring back, just call it Jay and the Fat Man.
Yeah.
It's,
there you go.
know,
yeah.
you're that close to an already established brand.
You could see like the disgruntled sergeant. Look here, Janikowski.
Yeah.
That's
With
not
this-
how we do it on the force.
With the state of kicking, I'm surprised he's still not around. Like, give this guy a shot, you know?
By the way, greatest buddy comedy idea I ever had was a TNT exclusive. Tim Tebow and LeBron James buddy comedy. Tell me you wouldn't watch a police procedural with those two guys. Angie Harmon could be their police chief. It writes
Yep.
itself.
I like
What are we
that.
missing here?
A wisecracking chimp.
Tebow's got time to do stuff, right? He's available.
Right. And LeBron will retire someday.
He's got to play with his son first.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
first
know
he's
it.
gotta do that.
Yeah.
Maybe we can bring Yi John Leon into that
I hope so.
somehow, in some way.
I hope so. I wonder what he's doing right now.
So Caleb Williams' dad is currently freaked. Is that what we're saying here?
Yes. Well, he's only freaked about Chicago. He's
Right.
not freaked about Washington.
Right.
He's-
In 1 month span, he could be much more relaxed.
Yeah.
If-
And see, it alternates because he's probably not freaked about New England,
Nope.
but then he's terrified of Arizona.
Yes.
I don't think Arizona's.
Arizona's
Smart
who
enough to
started
take
this
him.
whole mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
Arizona, by the way, strikes me as like the spot for Marvin Harrison Jr. Like I can't imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Slipping past
Yeah.
the door.
No.
I could see that.
it's gonna happen.
Or I mean, who else trades up to 1? Like, what would you have to give up to move?
Well,
up
that's
that?
that's the wild card, right? Like,
Right.
who's the Atlanta Falcons in the Vic year?
Right.
That
Right.
just maybe it's
Maybe
the
the
Atlanta
Falcons.
Falcons.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. Could be.
But I mean,
Atlanta.
look at this. So you have like, the Falcons could do it, the Vikings, the Broncos.
Caleb Williams' dad would be thrilled if the Falcons traded
Yeah,
up. Oh my
right, yeah.
God.
The Giants. Like
Yes.
there's a lot
Yeah.
that are around there that could trade up. Honestly, this is the year.
The
if
Titans
you
at
don't get a
7?
quarterback, you are in good position to make somebody pay out the ass for
Through
it.
the nose for
Yeah.
one.
I think that they finally realized Fields isn't the guy. They finally in this last game were
I
like,
don't
okay,
think they think that.
really?
I don't think they think that.
He said goodbye. Fields himself
but
was
he-
like, I'm
he said
out.
he said goodbye, like just in case. I don't know.
Yes, I don't know.
I'm looking at a mock draft that was just posted, and they have 6 quarterbacks going in the first round.
We haven't even
So-
talked about the Heisman Trophy winner, right?
You say
Yeah.
so. Williams, May, Daniels,
Williams, May,
McCarthy,
Daniels.
Nix, Penix. Not in that
We're-
order.
Yes,
We're going
correct.
to talk about Penix and McCarthy in a minute, I think.
You'll be
Yes,
happy
we
to know,
are
by the
also.
way, this has the Panthers taking a guy from wide receiver from Texas with the 33rd overall.
Oh, that kid's nasty.
Okay.
Adenoy
That
Mitchell.
kid's he can play. Yes.
Good. Please get me receivers. Like a lot of them. Big ones.
Yeah,
Maybe another
the
quarterback.
He is 6'4", so
The biggest problem with Mitchell is that he didn't have a great game in the Sugar Bowl.
Okay.
Like he didn't show up on the biggest stage for them, but he went bonkers in the game against Alabama. He played great in the Big 12 championship game. Like that kid is nasty.
Well,
They
the
have-
Panthers are never on the biggest stage, so it won't matter. It's not going to be a problem.
this mock draft has Bo Nix going 8 to the Falcons.
I hate that for everyone involved. I kind of hate that for Bo Nix.
Yeah, that's
Because I
not a
mean,
good
I'm sure
spot
he
for
wants to go back to the state of Georgia. I'm sure that'll be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
Auburn's in Alabama, although he has
I
some
know.
bad memories in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's time to make our playoff picks.
By the way, do we have our week 1 who's going to make the playoff list, or do we not want to embarrass ourselves?
I don't think it was that bad.
Okay.
Maybe we pull that out for next week. Maybe we should look at that next week. I should have just saved that as a file, but I did not. All right, you want to make some I'll see if I can pull that up while we make these wild card matchups.
Sure.
Okay. You want to do
we're
it like game by game?
consensus, or are we going solo bolos here?
I think I think, vote.
All right, we're gonna start on the left with Houston and Cleveland, the first game. Start there.
Me personally, I'm taking Houston in this game, which I know is the unpopular pick. And I have no reason to do it other than at some point the fairy dust ends and Joe Flacco turns back into a pumpkin, right?
He's wearing orange already. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the Browns. I think that their defense, like I like CJ Stroud, but he is still a rookie, and Schwartz is a psychopath. He's going to throw all sorts of weird shit at him. It is in a dome, so old man Flacco doesn't have to worry about the weather. So I think the Browns win this one.
I'm going Browns. I think the defense is going to be the key. Bryce Young is going to get sorry, CJ Stroud.
Thanks for doing that. Appreciate that.
You're the deciding-
It wasn't intentional. That was a Freudian slip.
It was
That's kind of a knife
so
twisting.
not nice to do.
I didn't actually mean to do it. I apologize.
On the plus side, your top pick in the second round will make everything.
It'll be
better.
great. It'll be great.
On the plus side, I'll get that
No.
Texan guy.
No, I mean that Cleveland defense is really,
Oh
really
my
good.
It really is.
Like they shut down the Niners a number of weeks back. Like I'd go Cleveland just because Houston seems to be snake bit in the playoffs too. I go the Browns.
Yeah, I think the Browns are too tough. I think Stroud will keep him in it, but I think the Browns are too tough. And I think the Flacco party will not end here.
Honestly, I feel like this is a situation where the Browns are fortunate it is inside. that does not have to deal with
Yeah.
the weather
That's true,
and all
too.
sorts of crazy
Look,
shit.
the
So
universe needs Joe Flacco to beat the Ravens.
they could, depending on
We
how this
need
goes, we could see it in the division round.
That would be fun. I have our list from the preseason. You want to hear it
Oh
now?
boy. How'd we do?
I was not party to this.
Okay, you were not a part of this. Here we go. We'll start with the bottom.
Okay.
We'll go from bottom to top. We'll do it quick. Diddley Poors, Cardinals. Texans.
Oh
Nope,
boy.
wrong. Colts, wrong. Bucks,
Where are
wrong.
we though?
I mean, they were Diddley
Bucks-
Poors in a
Bucks, I
different
will
way.
cede, are better than we thought. The Colts,
Yeah.
I still don't think are very good. I think in a real division, they're nowhere close to the top of that.
Okay,
division.
these were the sad boys. That was the next category up. Sad boys. Bears,
Yeah.
Okay.
Browns, nope.
Oh boy.
Broncos,
Yeah.
Yeah.
bad one here. Lions, real bad.
All right.
Look, history was on our side.
Yeah. Right.
Yep, right.
I
Sad
believe in the curse
boys
of Bobby
that Mark did not agree with, the Rams.
Mark
True.
floating us here.
True,
Right.
I put the sad boys in
Give
there.
me the hat mark.
Yeah,
I
both
wanted
of
that
you
in there. I wanted it documented that I disagreed.
Sad boys, Raiders.
Yep.
Right. Sad boys, Titans. Yeah.
Yep.
This is wrong, but right at the same time. Sad Boys Patriots, they were diddly poors.
Yeah.
So half right, I guess. Future's bright, but not yet. Falcons.
I feel like they're
I
sad
still
boys.
think the future is bright, but not yet. The problem is they played like sad boys.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay. This is tough. Future's bright, but not yet. Panthers. Oh boy,
Oh.
they're diddly poors. Future's bright, but not yet. Chargers somehow. I think. That's
I think
sort
that's
of
still
right.
the case for them.
Yeah, no, I still think that's right.
You think so?
Future's bright, but not yet. Giants.
You have a young franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
No,
right.
Giants.
The
are
Giants
sad
do
boys.
not.
Giants are sad boys.
They're
Giants
sad
are
boys.
sad boys. Future bright, but not yet. Steelers. They were above
Yeah.
that.
No, I think
Yeah.
that's a good spot
I
for
think
them.
that's still fair, though.
Yeah.
Here's a bad
say
one.
No, just because the quarterback play in Pittsburgh is terrible. They don't have that problem solved yet.
Here's a really
That's
bad
true,
one.
too.
Future's bright, but not yet. Washington Commanders.
Look,
One of
look,
us.
look. They sold. Daniel
I know.
Snyder is no longer the owner. The future is bright.
I think that's
No
what
matter
our
what.
argument
Yes.
was. right.
Also,
No matter what.
also, so long as we're calling ourselves out for things, one of us thought Sam Howell was above the line.
That's right.
I did for 6 weeks, or when does it come out? 8
You were
weeks.
banging that
8
drum.
weeks.
for a
I was
long
banging the
time.
Sam Howell drum, but
That's one of those
this
made
guy's
for romances.
he's played his way out of the league at this point almost with the bad quarterback play at the end. All right, these are the playoff teams. Ravens,
Yep.
Okay.
sure, but wrong. Cowboys, sure.
Okay.
Packers,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jaguars out.
Yeah.
They were close.
Dolphins, correct.
Yep.
Vikings, well, their season became an apocalypse, so
Yeah.
give us a pass there. Saints, oh boy.
Ugh.
Seahawks, the
Ugh.
49ers. Because of the quarterback issues, they weren't in the Super Bowl contender.
Oh, see, yeah, like I will say Ravens and
Right.
we were right, but the Ravens
Right,
and Niners
but
need to
wrong,
be up
yeah.
one tier
Yeah.
higher.
Yeah,
Listen,
they're high.
right now I've given us credit for 5 playoff teams.
Yeah,
Keep going.
right.
Okay. Super Bowl contenders. The Bills.
Mm.
They're technically still in
I'm
it.
counting it. They're in the playoffs.
The Bengals.
No.
They didn't make it.
Mitigating
Injuries.
circumstances,
Yeah,
though.
right.
Yeah, Burrow's out. The Chiefs. Not sure if they're a Super Bowl contender still, but they're in there. They count. This one's tough. The Jets. Super Bowl contenders. The Jets.
But what we knew then and what we know now
Oh,
aren't
yeah,
the
right.
same.
Yeah.
Look, they finished 7-10 without Aaron Rodgers.
They really
Gives
did.
them
I
at
feel like we
least
don't give
3
that
or
enough
4 more
emphasis.
wins.
Yeah. That's
Like Jets are
impressive.
11-5.
Yeah.
And the Eagles, which is they're not a Super Bowl contender currently, but they were for 11 weeks. So we missed the Jets because of injury. We missed the Bengals because of injury. We really whiffed on the Jaguars.
Yeah.
We missed the Vikings probably because of injury. Maybe Cousins was
I
out.
think they just suck.
Saints,
Yeah.
we missed. We whiffed on the Saints, and
Yeah.
we whiffed on the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Still, we got 8 out of
not bad.
14 with 2 passes. We could have done much worse.
Yeah.
Then we could have done a lot worse. All right. Let's move on. Let's just go. You want to do the entire AFC first?
Sure.
All right. Chiefs and Dolphins.
I
Chiefs
want
and
to pick the
Dolphins.
Dolphins, but they're too hurt. I can't do it. I got to go
I
with
think
Kansas
they're too
City.
hurt.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what I was
I
saying.
think
Like I
if,
like
if
Same.
everybody were healthy, I would pick Miami, but they're
Yep.
not even close.
I still wouldn't be shocked if Miami wins this game.
I
Me
wouldn't
either.
either.
It's
Right.
possible. Yeah.
Right. I think the biggest downside too is, once again, we're talking about the home field advantage of actually benefiting the Browns. It's going to be -5 degrees in Kansas City this weekend.
You can,
So
yeah.
yeah, having a team from Miami have to play in that's a tough play. With
It's a
all those-
Tyreek Hill revenge game. Do you put anything in there?
No more than he was going to do anyway.
Right. And if anybody knows how to defend him, it's Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Suppose.
With who?
So we're sweeping the
No,
Chiefs. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Begrudgingly.
All right. Well, there's a possibility. I don't think it's set in stone in a lot of these. I don't think.
No.
Bills and Steelers. I think it's going to be the Bills,
Yeah, I agree.
but I do think there's a weakness with the running. I think the Steelers could run on Buffalo, and the TJ Watt thing is the killer. If TJ Watt was there, this would be
Yeah.
a game.
Well, plus, listen, these things matter in the playoffs. One of these teams going into this weekend knows who their quarterback is.
I think this weekend looks like it's real shit weather, which actually benefits the Steelers because the ground, they can just pound the ball. But same thing there. You have to have the illusion that you're going to pass the ball. Otherwise, the team will just stack the line. So the Bills will have the illusion of passing the ball, but they can also run. They still got to clean some stuff up, but I think the Bills. I think it's going to be closer though. Once again, the Bills get these crazy spreads that drive me nuts. They're getting like a 10-point cover on this, which is outrageous for the playoffs.
Mhm.
That's so stupid. I think the Bills win, but I think it's closer to like 3 points that they win by. It's not going to be a blowout, that's for sure. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough game.
So that would mean if Drew does not agree with the he agrees. He thinks the Texans are going to win, right? So
Yes.
we would get a Browns. If we're
Ravens.
right, we would get a
Yeah.
Browns Ravens matchup, which would be fun, and then we get
Yeah.
a Chiefs Bills matchup rematch.
Do not
But
want.
this time in Buffalo.
That's weird. I didn't think
That's
they were
not
allowed to
for
play
nothing.
in Buffalo.
No, they're
Should be
not.
interesting. All right, moving on to the NFC. The Bucks and the Eagles. Why does ESPN get this game? This is the worst one by far. Like, why are they getting this one?
I'm taking the Bucks.
This is hard.
I'm also taking the Bucks.
Take the Bucks. I can't
yeah,
do it,
yeah,
but
I
I've
think
been
we're
outvoted.
split, yeah, I think we're split. I think I would take the Eagles. I think they're going to get their shit together just enough to beat the Bucks.
They got hurt again. AJ Brown got hurt. Like they were people dropping like flies in the Giants game.
I would not be shocked if the Bucks won this game, but I'm going to.
There's something just zany enough that the Bucks can do this. So I'm going to.
Oh, they can do it. They can do it. Baker Bake. And we're 50-50 split. Wow. Okay. Lions and Rams. We
Rams.
Get a Matt Stafford revenge game.
He's got to take the
Rams.
Rams now. He's got to. He can't back away now.
Yeah, right. We're
Not in
already
the
in.
wild card round.
Right. How fitting would it be if Stafford beats the Lions?
Beats the Lions.
I mean,
I'm picking the Rams. I'm picking
There
Mark's
you go.
Rams.
come on
A
board.
lot of people are. I don't know. I don't want to pick this game.
I'm picking the Rams. We've been talking about the Lions stepping on their own dick all year, but it is
Screw
the year
it.
of Michigan. It's the year of
Screw it.
Detroit.
I'm picking the Rams. Why
Hey,
Doesn't matter what I say at this point.
Yeah, you're out. But
You're
would
the
you have
Rams,
picked the
though.
Lions?
for posterity.
What do you think? Lions?
I want to believe. I want the
There you go.
Lions to win. God has
Okay.
that franchise has just been kicked in the teeth for so damn long.
I
Like
deserve it.
LA is a terrible sports town. They don't deserve any wins. And
I
Detroit
desperately-
does.
I wish this was Eagles at Lions so I could pick the Lions because I like the Lions and I think their fans
Yes.
deserve it. But I got to go with them.
I'm picking the
I'm
Lions.
this far in. There you go.
Okay, so you would go with the Lions. Are you before we move on? Are you afraid of the Bucks at all, Mike? Are you not afraid at all?
No.
until the championship.
Honestly, I don't want to play the Rams again. I hate playing the
What
divisional
about
team
the
three
what
times.
about the Eagles? What about the prospect of the Eagles winning that and then playing you in the second round? Not scared. at all.
No, we beat the shit out of them the last time when they were healthy.
Okay. All right. All right. Last one is the Cowboys and the Packers. Classic matchup here.
Yeah.
I know by the Rams argument about Mark, I know I'm obligated to take the Packers here, but I'm not going to. I'm still going to
Yeah.
take Dallas.
I'll take Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dallas at home.
Yeah, they're
I'm
home.
going to be contrary. I'm taking the Packers.
Oh, I like it.
Mike
I hope
McCarthy
you're right.
revenge game.
Here's
got
why. One, I want it to happen.
Yes.
I'm willing it into existence.
Okay. I don't think
Two.
it's out of the realm.
As per my conversation earlier, Mike McCarthy loses his job if he loses this game, I think.
Yep.
And like the Cowboys are classic first round chokers. The Packers offense is good enough to do damage. I think the Packers can win this game, and I'd rather play the 7 seed.
Okay.
Resurrection of the great Packers-Niners rivalry.
Yeah, you know what we didn't do?
We've owned them in the playoffs the last couple of years, though.
you've beaten the Cowboys, what, 4 years in a row in the playoffs? You've knocked them out or something like that?
Something like that. It's been a number
That's
of years.
pretty, it's pretty.
And before that, we were beating the Packers.
Can we make the Super Bowl again, please? I just want to go back.
Please. We forgot to do one thing. We forgot to say goodbye to Russell Wilson. We
That's
clowned
true.
on the Stidhams. We forgot to say goodbye to Russell Wilson. So let's do that real quick before we move on.
Making your way out of Denver today really ain't so bad. When you're not as tall as the snowfall, you can't be too sad. It's not like they'll miss you anyway. So now you wanna go where nobody cares you suck. And they'll still pay millions of bucks. You wanna be where the beer is cheap and the owner needs to fill the seats. You wanna go where nobody cares you suck.
Goodbye, Russell Wilson.
Russ!
Ironic that he played the Cheers scene because he's going to go play for the Patriots.
Oh, all right. I guess this is a year-end sad boy vote, right? The saddest
Yeah, it gotta
four
be.
boys.
Yeah.
Who are the saddest four boys of the season?
Russell.
Russell,
It's
Our
gotta
guy
be.
Russ.
Right.
Daniel Jones.
Yeah. He's pretty sad.
Poochie.
Okay.
Poochie, yes.
No, fuck
Poochie,
Poochie.
yes.
Poochie doesn't even get to go on the sad boy boat.
He
No.
did play 3 plays.
Fuck Poochie.
Robert Saleh. Is he pretty? Was he sad? Zach Wilson. He was pretty sad.
He was pretty sad, yeah.
Yeah, but he brought it on himself. Robert Saleh was a victim of fate.
Right. Every
Robert
time you saw
Saleh
Saleh on the sideline, he looked like he was about to cry.
Robert Saleh and the metric ton of Pepto-Bismol that he consumed over the course of the season.
Yeah.
Is David Tepper a sad boy or just a dick?
Yeah.
That's
I don't
for
think
you
he's
to determine.
he's not like sad about what he did. He doesn't feel any regrets.
Just
Is-
sad
is
about
He's not on
his
the
season?
sad boy boat. He's on the dick hole yacht.
Yeah, right.
Is this our final kick in the shin by putting Matt Rule on the sad boy boat?
Yeah, one last-
Oh, Matt.
What about
I don't
Riverboat
know.
Ron?
He
Riverboat
never
Ron
was
kind
sad.
of coming though.
He knew it was happening. Who else belongs on? Is that what are we up to? 3? I forget. 3.
3. Caleb Williams' dad. He's faced
Yeah.
the third
Okay.
real
There we go.
prospect of
'Cause the
Bears.
Bears-
There you go.
That's it. Caleb Williams' dad is our final season-long sad boy boat member. All right. Time for some quick broadcasting moments of the week. We got a super spiral to get into real quick. So let's do the broadcasting moments. We can relive Arthur Smith's season, wasted Bijan Robinson, wasted Drake London, ridiculed for benching and then putting in Ritter and benching him and then putting him back in, and then missing the playoffs despite this pathetic division.
Yep.
And then bitching about a late touchdown. Moving on, the Giants fucking the Eagles punter.
Yeah, right.
Did you see this guy trying to keep that Eagles punter up? What are you doing?
Stop it.
That's Plaxico Burris.
Yeah.
Stop it. Dan Campbell trolling the refs by throwing to that tackle at one point.
I didn't
enjoyed
see that. That's amazing.
That's
It
great.
just decided to throw to the tackle in the third quarter. Also,
Crowd loved it.
Yeah.
the Lions social media team did a bunch of stuff where they were like showing them walking in the tackles and like reporting as eligible, all that fun stuff. Goodbye to the NFL Red Zone with his Fast and Furious goodbye here, which is a classic. 245 days till Red Zone's back. That's sad. That makes me upset. Darth Vader leaving Gillette Stadium for the last time
It's over.
under the hood.
Bum, bum, ba-da-ba-dum, bum, ba-da-ba-dum.
He was sick during this game, I guess, which is
Yeah,
even
sure.
funnier. It's even funnier. Jameis Winston's excuses.
Yeah, right.
Look at how this
Look,
guy's
he's
going to
having a
run
good
for
time.
office, right?
Yeah.
Like he's going to run for office.
I wanna
in
see
New
him
He'd be
Orleans.
such a
that carousel.
fantastic corrupt governor of Louisiana.
Yes, right.
I want to see it hit the door and a whole bunch of crab legs just fall out. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, how those got there?
Insane take.
He's mayor of New Orleans within 10 years.
He's the new
Oh.
Marion Barry.
There you go. This is
Bitch set
fun.
me up.
The everybody who didn't sign Lamar Jackson, Falcons fired their coach, Panthers fired their coach, Commanders fired their coach, Raiders fired their coach. All of them could have used Lamar Jackson, I think. None of them decided to make a play on it. And then I thought this was funny by Bill Barnwell. When Jim Harbaugh, which we'll talk about him in a second, said, "We're innocent. We stood strong and tall." And Bill Barnwell wrote, "We dropped our lawsuit against the Big Ten, fired a linebackers coach in December, started accusing everyone else of what we were doing because we're innocent.
Yeah.
We're innocent, I swear."
That's what they call flood the zone.
Okay. All right. This is a big one. The Stripe Spiral, the last one.
Yeah.
Last stripe spiral of the year.
Last Stripe Spiral right now.
Some quick notes before we get into the really big stories. Anybody paid attention to the quarterback transfers that have happened?
Oh, weird.
So the guy from Ohio State goes to Syracuse. We already talked about that one.
Love it.
Presumably because he fears somebody's coming from behind him, right? But then the guy from Kansas State goes to Ohio State. So something doesn't make any sense there, up to and including where did Syracuse get NIL money?
No clue.
The recruit goes from Georgia to Nebraska because he's the son of a Nebraska alum.
Yes, right. We
And
talked
Matt
about
Rule
that.
suddenly must have gotten his $2 million to pay for his quarterback. The number one recruit in last year's class, after playing 3 plays for USC, preserves his red shirt. So he has 4 years of eligibility remaining, and he transfers to Boise State.
Weird.
Like,
Very weird.
he knows he can't transfer again, right? Like, he's stuck there.
He just likes the blue field.
Maybe, or maybe he doesn't like to be in the limelight. Who the hell knows? And the important one, Albany's quarterback transfers to the University of Miami.
Whoa!
So Poffenbarger, who was the leading passer in FCS last year, is suddenly now a Hurricane. He's going to try and resurrect the Hurricane program.
Oh,
He
my God.
won't, but he's going to try.
That's a good
The
name,
best-
though.
It is a great name, Poffenbarger.
Yeah.
The best he can do is not embarrass himself or Mario Cristobal. But this now does mark
Too
2
late for
prominent
Cristobal.
UAlbany players. This is
That's the
is now
Commodore of the
2
sad boy boat.
The Cristobal.
It is, yes, it's Cristobal.
This is now 2 Albany players who have transferred to prominent institutions. Because if you recall,
Yes.
God, what's his name? The kid from
The
Florida State,
yeah.
the defensive end there,
Yes.
Verve or Verge, whatever his name is. He's a Albany transfer. So Albany suddenly pumping out FBS level kids at major Power 5 programs.
Drew, I have the answer as to why he's transferring to Boise State.
Why is that?
Taters.
Yes, Miss Idaho.
Right.
Miss Idaho 1935.
Ooh.
What a
Taters.
sexy photo that is. We're gonna get canceled for that. Jesus. Too
Hot
hot.
warning.
But anyway, bunch of other interesting transfers, bunch of coaches moves, but the national championship game.
Yes.
Michigan wins and wins in convincing fashion. I don't think the score quite tells you the story of the game because Michigan picked up a late touchdown or whatever. But this doesn't, and listen, I got nothing against Michigan and I'm not here to indict Michigan. But this does feel like kind of the next in the string of a lack of accountability for people who get caught doing stuff. You know, like Jim Harbaugh can say he's innocent all he wants. He was suspended for 6 games this year. That didn't happen for no reason, especially when the university served him up on a platter for suspension.
Right.
Wait,
Like,
I
rather
thought
than
he
draw out
was
investigation.
dead. I thought he died. Everyone cried.
I know
Right.
everybody cried
He
when he
ascended to
missed a
heaven.
game and they beat, Indiana or whatever the hell.
But do they do the 6-game suspension, not necessarily of innocence or guilt, but the idea of we have a team that might be able to run the table this year. If we sacrifice this now where it's manageable,
And-
we're not
and-
going to get DQ'd from the playoffs.
Yes.
Totally, but that wasn't going to happen before the end of this season anyway. You know, when the NCAA investigated whatever it was, Kentucky basketball, and they were like, we have all these documents and we have you to rights. The investigation took 4 years. And by the way, ended up with no penalties. So Michigan kind of served up their coach as like we got caught doing something. But, put this down on the list with the Spygate Patriots and with the trash can Astros. Like there just doesn't
right.
seem to be a lot of accountability if you get caught doing anything wrong. But anyway, Michigan is a great team. Michigan plays a great game. Everybody's talking about JJ McCarthy as an NFL quarterback. I don't see it. I don't see
No.
it
I
personally.
didn't see it last night.
No.
No,
He's really good
athletic.
at handing it off. He's great
He's
at that.
athletic and he's, he doesn't make a lot of mistakes, but I don't know that I would want that guy to win me a game.
Man, I'll tell you that front seven though of
He's
Michigan
nasty.
was
Michigan's front seven is nasty.
unbelievably good.
And they made Washington's tackles, who were very good. They made both their right and left tackle look stupid.
They were pancaking them.
Yes. And also, NFL scouts take notice. Michael Penix apparently completely loses his composure whenever there's somebody within 18 inches of him.
So
there were throws that he made off his back foot where he just started making throws off his back foot by habit. That second interception he throws to seal the game late, the one that goes for like the 85-yard return and sets Michigan up for their clinching, the garbage time touchdown. Like that was a throw off his back foot that he mailed with no one especially close to him and forced into triple coverage when Odunze was one-on-one open between the corner and the safety on the left side of the field. And he just
Never
never
even
saw
looked
him.
at him.
Yeah,
And by the way, Penix is left-handed. That should be his natural side.
That was
Never
the thing
looked
that stood out to me the most in this game is several times Herb Street, who I love this broadcast team. Herb Street's like he's missing open guys. Like you don't hear that often. He's missing all of these open guys. And by the way, this guy's a top two wide receiver in the draft.
It was just
Some of
deer
that,
in
I'm
the
sure,
headlights.
is-
Like I think he just froze and that was it.
Yeah.
I mean, the one in the first quarter, whatever, you got nerves playing in the national championship game. We've seen that before, but he just kept making the same mistakes over and over. And he was so scared of that pass rush that he was just off his back foot, just heaving it with his arm. It was all off his elbow, not actually out of his legs. He didn't have a proper base for any of those throws. But I didn't think and there were throws that if he stands in there and makes a throw and takes the hit, I think he has a much better night. But he just didn't look good.
I wouldn't be shocked if it comes out that he's hurt because he was holding
Holding his ribs
like
back.
bad.
Definitely
so-
hurt.
ESPN did a wonderful job, and I know this is weird to say because they lost. Where when he's exiting the field, and they did this really long shot of him
Walking down the
holding
tunnel.
his ribs. It was really well done. It was beautifully shot.
Yeah, and also far be it for me to tell a guy he can't play in the national championship game, and I don't. Obviously, the situation with Washington's running back depth is not good, but their running back should not have been in that game.
Yeah, right.
He couldn't
he
run.
was hurt too.
He couldn't run, and that threw off all the timing of everything they were doing. That guy is, I don't know that he's like a future star or anything, but he's more dynamic than that, and he couldn't cut at all.
They
He had
seem
no
to be
acceleration.
again. Drew, you know more than me, but Washington seems to be like a team that needs 2 to 3 big plays a game.
Yes, they
And
do. That's what they're built on.
They couldn't get one.
Yeah, they're built
couldn't get
on they're built on Odunze winning one-on-one matchups, which he did, and Penix didn't get him the ball.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they've got 2 other wide receivers who are dynamite, by the way, one of which declared for the draft today. And their tight end doesn't suck. Like that kid's going to play on Sunday someday for somebody just because he's a utility guy. He can play H-back or fullback or tight end or be an inline blocking guy. Like he's a big body and he's got good hands and he can catch. But they, Michigan was, for all intents and purposes, a dominant team.
Yeah. I did leave this game thinking Odunze is going to be a very big star in the NFL.
Oh my God, yes.
He looks like he is ready right now.
He is second only to Harrison in college football wide
Which is
receivers.
no
right
shame
now.
in that.
No. Harrison won the Bolitnikoff, but if Odunze had won it, I don't think anybody would have screamed too loud outside of Columbus, Ohio.
Well, yeah.
And so ends the season. And now so begins the speculation. Is this sustainable for Washington? They've made the playoff before, and then the Jake Browning team made the playoff, got hammered, and was never heard from again. Now, Kalen DeBoer, I think, is a better coach than that. And I think he's a better recruiter than that. I think they're going to go to the Big Ten, and they have better NIL money than that, especially being based in Seattle. But, remains to be seen if this is a return to prominence for Washington like they had in the 90s. And for Michigan, are they going to have the same coach next year?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have a different quarterback no matter what. They're going to have a different defense no matter what. Blake Corum's probably going to be gone.
Yeah,
and they might have a new coach.
They will have a new coach.
They almost certainly will have a new coach.
If you're
should
going to
trade him to the
leave, you
Ravens
should.
for John Harbaugh.
You might as well leave now. I mean, if you are Jim Harbaugh, you might as well leave now. You're leaving on top. You got your school their title. McCarthy's gone.
Yeah, you win as an alumni.
You've got the scandal stuff. You might as well go.
By the way, not noticed by ESPN last night, or at least not broadcast. Former Michigan basketball coach Tom Crean, both in the stands and on the field. Just
Saw.
weird because it's not like he did anything great at Michigan. Like Juwan
No.
Howard's been a good coach for them. He must be friends with Harbaugh from something previous.
Yeah. Maybe. Oh boy. Well, the repeat for Michigan, is that possible, you think?
I don't think so.
Or
No,
too
I don't
early to
think so.
tell?
I don't think so. They're going to lose. It's taken them, 25 years to find a quarterback even as competent as McCarthy.
There you go.
They're just not
guy.
that. I don't know that they're stacked at the quarterback position. They're still an old school Big Ten team, which, as you saw, is capable of winning the national title. But I think they're going to lose too much talent.
Yeah. Well,
I can see him staying too. I can see it be like I'm staying.
it's
Yeah.
his alma mater. It's like, that's the one thing about it.
But at the same time, like, he did mention even during his press conference, like, I have, there's unfinished business. Like, to me, that's like, he's just, you don't hire that guy as an NFL agent to be your agent if you're not going to go to the NFL.
He's pissed off that his brother has the Super Bowl ring and he doesn't.
I honestly think he is. Like, I think that's
It's like, fine, I'll go get a college title and an NFL championship.
Yeah.
See that, Dad?
And oh, by the way, I think he still thinks that the NCAA might have words for him if he doesn't get out now.
Right. He's going to.
The statute of limitations on
It
things
may
he
be
may or may not have done and may or may not have been
amicable
suspended for
part
isn't
of
over.
Right.
amicable parting of ways between him and the NCAA.
Yeah.
I think Patriots trade Belichick to Michigan.
Hysterical.
Harbaugh goes to New England.
Hysterical.
Listen up, you little shits. Everybody enters the transfer portal.
Look here, I want to search the transfer portal for 5'8" white guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. How good's your lacrosse team?
Oh, my
Won
God.
all of them.
All of them.
We're just going to port them over. Bring them all. Well, we'll see. It's going to be real interesting because somebody's going to make an offer. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
There's gonna
Somebody
be at
will
least- There's
offer.
going to be two offers.
Oh, yeah.
Vegas will offer and the Chargers
Yeah.
will
Chargers
offer.
will offer,
At
yeah. At
least,
least
if
two.
not more teams than that.
Carolina, maybe a Hail Mary offer.
Well, and there
It'll
may
try.
be teams,
Atlanta makes an offer and tells him he can draft JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, right.
there
my
may
God.
be teams that have a coach who we would say, like, look, they're happy with their coach, who are going to have like a back channel conversation with Harbaugh.
Mm-hmm.
You mean like the Dallas Cowboys?
Oh, don't do that to me.
Doesn't feel like
that
a
won't
good
happen
fit.
because Jerry and Jim won't get along.
No, yeah. they don't
Shocking.
get along.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's easier to yell at kids than adults, so
That is
maybe
true.
he does.
100%.
Maybe he does.
And I feel
stick
like he
around.
does. That might be
I
like
earned
a
your
draw of the
scholarship.
game. Yeah, right. It's like, I get to yell at kids. All right.
Yeah.
It's the best part of my job.
That's why you do it. That's why you're in the business.
That's why I'm in the business.
Oh,
Yelling
well,
at
it was a
kids.
good night for Michigan, and that's why I got my Biaka Batuka back there.
Well, yeah.
And I also have my Bad Boys Pistons
So-
shirt on in honor of the.
Also, not for nothing, just a random thought out in the ether. Harbaugh goes to NFL team XYZ, brings back third string quarterback Colin Kaepernick.
No.
No, not this late.
He's like 40.
That's true.
No.
It's never happening. It's never
It's not
going to
happening.
Not
happen.
at this
But if
It
I
should
say
have,
that
but
only to
it's
say,
not.
if anybody were going to do it, it would be him.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen.
Yeah. I like this comment.
To quote Janet Jackson, Trudeau.
Yep.
Yeah.
Accurate.
Thanks a lot, New York dude. I appreciate that. I wouldn't take the job, and I'm a fan of the team.
Oh, the four of us would take the job.
Yes,
let's be
absolutely.
honest.
Yep.
I mean, I take the money. I take the dead cap money when he fires me
Mark
after
special
week 3.
teams.
I call special teams third and
Yeah,
third.
we can have it.
Look,
After
I already
week-
got the headset. I'll be the head coach.
There
You
you
can
go.
have it. I'll take the dead money. We'll split it.
I'll be like, have you tried kicking the ball through the uprights? No.
Have you tried first downs? I know that's a weird concept.
Drew, you're running
Don't
D.
worry about all that shit.
All right, I can try that.
Yeah.
I'll be like
Oh,
cover
man.
0, boys.
Yes, they will scare Ben Johnson away.
Our
They've
practice
already-
sessions
he already
will be
has- He already doesn't want to hang out with them.
Our
He's
practice
no.
sessions will be us playing Madden of the other team. Who we got next week? The Lions. Okay.
And
Load
if
'em up.
anyone, if anyone complains, we'll be like, Mike McDaniel did it, so that's how he. Oh man! All right, time. Well, we got no FUBAR tonight because you're playing hurt. So unless Jameis Winston gets in again for this week,
Yeah,
he might deserve.
I didn't have enough time to come up with any, so I don't want to induct anybody without like a proper induction.
They need a proper
Look, we
introduction.
appreciate the
Chip
commitment
Kelly
to the
gets
process.
in this week. There you go.
Fuck that guy.
Yep.
I love it. I like the fast FUBAR where you're
There it
like
is.
Chip Kelly, fuck that guy.
Kelly, you know what? He sucks.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Moving on.
I was so pissed. I was so mad when they hired him. I'm like, you have to be kidding me.
That's
We're
doink.
like
He
1 in
sucks.
15.
That's like he sucks.
Things are better for
Anyway.
you now.
We'll get back. We'll get back to it next week.
Yeah, we'll
I already
have
got,
more-
I got a couple
we'll-
ones in mind. So
We have more FUBAR coming up. Game balls. You got any game balls? I guess this season long game ball. I don't know.
This is my last chance to give a game ball to Antonio Pierce, so I have to do it now.
Okay, all right. He deserves it. Antonio Pierce.
yeah,
Mark, you got one?
I'm gonna give it a Wink Martindale for what I think is going to be my favorite story of the offseason.
Where's Wink?
Where's
Can't
Wink?
find him.
Yeah,
Can't find him.
Dayball's like, I checked bar. What else do you want me to check?
Who?
I'm cutting my game ball in half and giving half to the fighting Stidhams
Okay. Yeah.
and the
Oh.
other half to the fighting Simeons.
The fighting Simeons and the
Yeah.
fighting Stidhams?
I need 2 generic S named Broncos quarterbacks.
I don't know if should I
Look,
do
they
a
sent-
sincere one or not a
He
sincere one?
sent Belichick out with a loss.
Yes, that is fun.
All right, I can appreciate that. I will give my game ball another split. One half goes to oiled up Rob Ryan.
Okay.
Oh,
He didn't make the show today.
He didn't make the show, so we can give half to him, and the other half goes to Nathaniel Hackett voice.
I thought it was gonna be
I'm
Xbox.
staying, motherfucker.
Boy, I lose the bet. I thought it was going to be Ishan Leon.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I have an honorable mention for Cedar Suzuki dip.
Yes, right,
Yep,
right.
Cedar Suzuki dip.
We
You
have
get a
not
game
heard
ball.
from, disappointingly.
It hits
Yeah,
the
we
spot.
never heard from them.
$0.7 billion. They're paying me anyway.
I'm not giving a
My
game.
wife has been
to
my wife
Timor.
has
What
been
are you
quite insistent on the Tzatziki money.
We're waiting on the Tzatziki money. Come on,
It's not
Cedar.
Where's
wait
the
a
Tzatziki money?
Game ball to Yishan Leon and his practice.
List of approved cities.
Yep. Game ball to Jalen Brown money.
Brown money.
That's right.
Game ball to Jalen Brown money. What other NBA references did we have this year? I don't
Otto
know.
Porter money.
No, the Otto Porter contract.
That's how it started.
The Otto Porter contract.
That's how it started before Jalen Brown signed his
Every
extension.
time.
I'll give one to the
Otto.
Christian McCaffrey trade. I don't care that
Oh,
it didn't happen
come
this season.
on. Oh God.
I had the common decency not to send you. I was scrolling Instagram earlier today, and there was this mashup of like him with the Panthers, and then it cuts to him with the Niners, and it's just like I can't do that to Ryan.
It hurts me so much.
I'm not a mean human. I can't do
We
that.
should-
When I
Traded
got
away-
you that Thomas Davis helmet, I went through a lot of Panthers that played
Yeah,
for you, and there's
it's
a lot of
sad.
them who
Lot of
left
sad
that
boys.
team and went other places. So that was tough. I think it was down between Thomas Davis and Greg Olson. Those are the two that I
I like Greg. I'll be okay with Greg.
Right.
Future head coach Greg Olson.
He said he would take the job. He's the only one.
He may be the only one willing to take it.
He might be.
If
He
you get
coaches
a John-
Pee Wee football.
If you get a John Beeson Carolina Panthers helmet, does it come with a visor?
Yeah.
I would hope. I
That's
liked
awesome.
Beeson. He was
Yeah,
fun
the multicolored
for like
visor.
was there like 3 years.
Yeah.
And listen,
Look-
Thomas Davis, every time I see Chris Sims on TV, I just want to run up to him and yell, Thomas Davis, and see what happens.
Duck.
Look out! Oh, the spleen. That was ugly.
Yeah.
All right. Plugs. Time for bloody good music. What do we got for a plug this week?
I am currently working on another album review, but in the meantime, Chris and I both posted our articles on prominent album anniversaries for this year. There's a bunch. Dr. Dre's 2001 turns 25 years old this year.
Oh,
Led
God.
Zeppelin
Oh.
2
Don't tell me
turns
that.
55.
Old
And-
man, take
Wow.
a look
The
at
one-
my life.
The one that got me was I was looking at Nine Inch Nails' Pretty Hate Machine, which turns
Ooh.
35 years old this
Oh
year.
my
And I was like, no, I
Ooh.
was like, that can't be right because that album didn't come out before I was born. And then I remembered I turned 40. Shit.
Yeah. Shit.
Wow.
Look, I do the grocery shopping for my family, and I realize we've transitioned to the other side when all of the stuff that we listened to in the 90s and early 2000s is now playing on the Muzak
Yes.
at
Oh,
the
yeah,
grocery
Sure
store.
is.
Yeah.
100%.
Yep.
We're there, man.
Listen, I have at least three
Spoon
coworkers.
Man.
I have at least three coworkers that have never heard of the Ramones. By the way,
Yeah.
Super Unknown's on the list. That album turns 30 this year.
Wow.
Ride the Lightning is 40. There's a few good ones in there.
God.
My God. I never knew how many Soundgarden hits there actually were in my.
ton.
There's so many Soundgarden
There's
hits. What?
six on that. There's 6 on that album alone.
It's
Yeah.
insane.
For some reason, when I think of Soundgarden, I think of like every like pool hall I ever went to from
Yes,
like, from
Like
a
everybody
certain
played My
time
Way.
grade. Right.
Diamond 8 Billiards
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
and Latham.
yeah. I
That's
mean,
what think of.
my Wave, Fell on Black Days, Black Hole Sun,
Yes.
Spoon Man,
Spoon Man.
Like Suicide, Kickstand, all
Yeah.
on that album.
Yeah. What a run.
I just remember the
Soundgarden.
song
And the
Runaway
Day I Tried
Train.
to Live. That's 7.
Every time I also think of
Uh.
pool halls, I also think of the Verve Pipe, but that's just
Well, that's a
because
whole
a
separate.
mutual friend of
Oh,
ours.
That's a whole separate thing.
that's a whole other thing, isn't it? I also think of this song.
Mark's the only person I've seen play billiards and punt.
I also think of this song when I think of
does
the
work.
90s.
Think you can tell us what to do? Yeah. You think you can tell us what to wear? You think you better?
Oh boy.
Get ready to bow to the master.
Well, I think this is a good place to stop.
What a gross human.
There's no TGIF update. We're going to be doing the therapy episode once Greg gets off of his deathbed.
Yes.
Yeah. He's also
Or
sick.
Killer Greg.
We're all sick. Everybody's sick.
Seriously.
Once everybody gets off their deathbeds, we'll do that. And we will be back after the crazy wildcard weekend.
Yes.
Carnation? Is that Carnation?
It is Cacownation.
Yep.
Carnation. I never put the extra "ca" in the Carnation.
It's because nobody should, but they did for whatever reason. It's Cacow.
What the showboat like hashtag is? I gotta look into that.
Well, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. X-Pac will be here.
Get your penicillin ready.
Maybe that's why we're all sick. All right, peace out, everybody.